Today, I got lost in a mysterious land filled with robots, ghosts, lasers, and oh yeah, some of the coolest technology on the planet. Hello. Because today, Science Bob decided to take me on a super exclusive tour of his favorite place ever. Disneyland?
The people that make Disneyland happen. Go ahead.
The Imagineers?
We're here.
I learned about these guys in high school.
So fun.
Imagineers are the crazy geniuses who design, test, and create all the various attractions and spectacles at all of the Disney parks. And Science Bob secretly arranged a chance for us to meet them.
The word Imagineering is the combination of imagination and engineering. So what we all do here is combine storytelling and creativity and engineering together to hopefully create some of the most magical places and experiences in the world. Let's go take a walk.
All right.
And I was so excited for this tour because I grew up 10 minutes from Disneyland, so I've always been a big fan. A lot of the amazing things you see in the park started out as a simple sketch or foam model that just might accidentally get stepped on by Science Bob.
Got it.
Whoops, you're right.
Okay.
I almost owed you a lot of money.
You break it, you buy it.
From these models, it was clear the Imagineers were masters of forced perspective,
which is where we make things further away a little bit smaller so they seem even further away.
Which is a trick you can find all over the Disney parks, like on Main Street in Disneyland, where the second and third floors of the buildings are built at a smaller scale in order to make the scale of the whole street feel much bigger. And forced perspective is just one of their many tricks. Whoa, that just scared me so much. You see this, and I was not prepared then to see this. Very effective use of a mirror here. That's genius.
So welcome to the Blaine Gibson Sculpture Studio.
Wow, I recognize so many of these.
This is where we house a lot of the sculpts that became animatronics figures for Disney parks all around the world.
I love that you have all this high tech, but it starts with clay.
Arguably very low tech.
The lowest tech.
So what do you guys want to see next?
We should do Studio C.
Right, this way.
Studio C, what does that even mean? Turns out it means a sound mixing studio ringed with a cajillion speakers. And to get the full effect here, I recommend putting on some headphones for this next part.
This is actually a system that allows us to render three-dimensional objects of audio in space.
Really? So if I close my eyes, you do like a person walking 4 feet to my left.
Or inside your head.
Whoa. Now that may have sounded like big words, but they quickly backed them up by playing the audio of the Haunted Mansion ride.
Welcome, foolish mortals, to the Haunted Mansion.
Which truly sounded like a ghost flying in circles around my head. That's creepy. Oh no. That is in my brain. It's literally like he's flying around the room. They even let me control the software so I can finally prove to Bob that ghosts aren't real.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's all around. Or they actually are. Whoa! It's being controlled by a ghost.
The ghost host.
Greg explained that the studio tricks our brains by mimicking real life. Because if you hear a door slam off to your right, even with your eyes closed, the reason you still know the sound came from that direction is because the sound waves hit your right ear just milliseconds before your left ear. So your brain does the complicated math to make it just feel obvious to you. So in the studio, if you have the speaker on the right play a sound milliseconds before the speaker on your left, it hits your ear milliseconds earlier and tricks your brain into thinking the sound is only coming from that side. So even though we think the sound of this ghost is coming from just the speakers in the corner, in actuality, all the speakers in the room are playing the sound, just some are slightly delayed.
And so we use all of those tricks in our sound design to fool your brain into thinking you're hearing things that you're not really hearing.
I just had one more question. Can I touch one of these buttons?
No!
After promising to pay for everything I'd just broken, our tour guide informed us that.
So I gotta go. I think you're fine on your own. I'll see you later.
On our own?
That feels like a mistake. Bob, where should we go?
Going to the model shop. Come on.
Model shop? And with that, we wandered the halls of Disney Imagineering. Bob, you seem lost.
I think it's this way.
Luckily, we spotted a sign that told us we were definitely in the right spot. Whoa. I'm saying whoa a lot today, Bob.
That's what Imagineering does to you. So look, say you got a guy in a lab coat.
We kind of snuck in here.
No worries.
Is this okay?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as the top brass are cool with it.
That's maybe your last day as an Imagineer. What is this?
What we do here in the model shop, we design our attractions before we actually build them.
Is this little thing part of the ride?
We like to have fun in the shop, so we put little Easter eggs here and there.
That's a good Easter egg. Sam explained to us that when designing a ride, it's super important to put yourself at the perspective of the audience.
So you can just kind of squat down and kind of go through here.
Okay, I'm liking it. However, it turns out as these rides get more complex, it's harder to get a good perspective with just your eyes. What Imagineers want to be able to do was.
I sent a hamster through here with a camera.
The hamster cam.
Completely custom. I did this over a couple of evenings.
It looks like a build box to me.
Yeah. This incredible piece of engineering not only had a 360 camera, but it's also packed with features like LED lighting, independent suspension, and an ingenious system to use the walls of the ride to turn the wheels, which allow this mini roller coaster to drive through any twist or turn. Very cool, Sam. It's not as adorable as a hamster, but it's a lot more practical.
Yes.
And with that, Bob and I had at last found the place we'd been looking for, the research and development wing of Imagineer.
This is where all the real engineering takes place.
And after getting distracted just one more time, look at that. That alone is such a good idea.
Oh my God, we're nerds.
We finally found the thing us nerds love most. Robots. Oh, I know this. Roll the clip, because this is the coolest thing ever.
Hey, can I help you guys?
Hey.
Hi, Tony. Do you know anything about these?
A little bit.
I feel like that was a humble little bit, Tony.
They are our aerial stunt robots.
Tony explained to us that this extremely complex stunt robot actually started out as just a pair of sticks they had stuck together using a pneumatic hinge and some sensors. Then it became a slightly more complex stick with 2 hinges.
Because if we figured we can control that, we can start to see how it could be a person. So this is sort of the moment where we said, okay, let's go all in. We'll keep it pneumatic, build it fast. We called it Pneumataman.
And when you launch them, they land in a net.
Yeah.
And that's how I did it with the squirrels. Roll the clip.
When we started to do things with electric servos, we were really able to capture performance. And that's the big change from these pneumatic ones.
Can it do it better than a human at this point?
Yes, because we needed our launches to be about 10 Gs. Who can actually hold on to a rope and do a 10 G
Bob,
throw?
for starters. But he's not available because he works at Crunch
yeah.
Labs.
I love that someone just throws out an idea and then you just like, let's do one part. Then
Yeah,
let's
just
make
one
it
step
better.
at a time.
Yeah.
That's the biggest mistake I think engineers make, is they try and make this first. Start very simple to understand the principles, right?
Lots of trial and error. For instance, we've probably thrown that robot over 1,000 times.
I can tell. He sees some hard times. Look at that face.
Looks just like Tom Holland.
Next, we swung around to the other side of the building where we just happened to find...
Oh, hey, we have visitors.
Hey! This is Lanny. He's an absolutely legendary Imagineer who's patented more things than I can count. One of which is this.
The world's only multi-user, expandable, modular, omnidirectional treadmill floor.
Also known as a holotile.
So I can walk in any direction. A number of people can be on that floor and they will never bump into each other.
What the heck is happening here?
The secret to the floor is this mechanism.
Which works by simply using a series of these small angular discs that are controlled by 2 gears. One which turns the angle of the disc, and the other that separately spins the top of the disc. And when you rotate a couple hundred of these discs in unison, you can super easily move objects in any direction. Wow. So simple. Like, how did I not think of this? And by using LiDAR senses to see where your feet are, the hollow tiles can be programmed to move your feet in the opposite direction of your steps, which very effectively simulates the feeling of a moving floor. That is so wild. I could never walk off this floor. I could probably do a killer moonwalk on this thing. And this tech is so cool because when combined with VR screens, it can be used for tons of different stuff like video games, filmmaking, or even the Force. Oh, that feels amazing. It's like making cookies. Stir it. Took me a second to find the camera. Unfortunately for me though, Bob had also found the Force.
Rebecca.
Oh! The dark side of the Force. I'm sorry, you'll get that bonus after all. You can have President's Day off, I'm sorry. And as Bob and I were getting ready to go home, thinking our tour was over, we were distracted by the most adorable robot in existence. Oh my God. Hey little guy. Oh, he's coming fast. Hi, how are you? Should we follow you? This little droid quickly introduced us to all of his friends. Oh my goodness. Hi everyone, I'm Mark. Hi. Yeah. Some of whom were clearly not subscribers. Hey, oh no, he's scanning me. What are you doing? These droids were so lifelike and endearing, I was starting to believe they were really alive. Can I pet you? Oh, he likes it. He likes it. Until I looked around the room and saw 4 people holding remotes. This is Mike, the lead engineer, who explained that
We're really combining the gaming industry, animatronics, and robotics.
these robots are kind of like real-life video game characters that have a series of pre-programmed emotes that they can do. Jump! which are amazingly effective at bringing these characters to life.
He's clearly interested in me.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not.
These things are bipedal. I got to imagine there's a lot of work that needs to happen so they don't tip over.
Typically, when you're animating, you're not considering physics.
For sure.
If we took the animation, just played on a robot, they would just fall over.
So in order to keep these droids standing while also performing complex animations, the Imagineers trained the droids using a technique called reinforcement learning.
So you think of a baby learning how to walk, it tries something, maybe falls down, tries something slightly different, falls down again. The robot's doing something very similar.
Basically, these droids get put in a virtual physics environment where they run through thousands and thousands of simulations in which they get pushed or tripped. And so with every iteration, they get better at teaching themselves how not to fall. So can I like gently push one of these and see what happens?
You can.
Oh, he said no? Hey, get back here. Can I have a volunteer? Okay, pal, I'm gonna push you. Are you excited? Okay, that's a yes, all right. Oh, you're sturdy that way. And it may seem harsh to push this cute little guy, but because of reinforcement learning, it was something he'd seen 1,000 times before and therefore knew how to react to stay upright. Wow.
But I love that as mechanical as they are, like all of you guys bring it to life. I know.
And with that, Bob and I both knew what we had to do. All right, time for BattleBots, let's go. And it turned out that's where they drew the line. As they finally escorted us out of the building, our guide mentioned something.
I guarantee someone watching this right now is a future Imagineer.
Ooh. Spending a day with the Disney Imagineers really showed me that the core of everything they do is the same mission we have at Crunch Labs.
Loving to create new things is what makes scientists and what makes engineers successful, without a doubt.
And that's the same attitude we applied to all our build boxes, where you can learn the identical engineering concepts these Imagineers use to build the future of theme parks. So whether you end up here at Crunch Labs, or as an Imagineer, or even working at NASA, your engineering journey can start today if you just pay attention to the magic all around you.